Dear Multiversus developers, I'll start this video off by saying congratulations to everyone at Player First Games on the relaunch of Multiversus. I wish you, your team, and the game nothing but success for many, many years to come. But the reason I am writing this video directed at the developers, and I can't stress this enough, but it comes from a place of love. I've been making videos on Multiversus even before the game was officially announced, around time frames of Tech Test 1, Tech Test 2, Closed Alpha, the Open Beta, servers going offline. My point is I've been a part of the community the entire time. So I suppose that's why a lot of people view myself as a big name in the Multiversus community, and I've had those same individuals reach out to me through Twitter DMs, Discord messages, and even YouTube comments asking myself to address a lot of these concerns that they have about the game. So that's what this video will be about, addressing concerns, but in a purely constructive criticism type of way. So I will be going over some of the main concerns that the community, as well as myself, do have, but I will also try to offer an idea for a solution on the off chance any of the developers do watch this, so if this helps in any way, I hope it does. But I know you guys have already been hard at work trying to resolve a lot of these issues or concerns that the community has. You've already told us about fixes to the European servers. You've mentioned that you know about the Xbox frame rate issues as well as other issues on the Xbox version of the game, and you're working hard to correct those, so great on that. Even Tony Wynn, when he responded to a fan on Twitter saying, hey, why don't we have free characters in the lab for testing? Which, if you didn't know, was a feature during the open beta, and, well, it should be a part of the re-release, and then Tony just said, hey, it's going to be addressed in a future patch. So things like that, the constant and the open line of communication is fantastic, and I hope it can stay that way moving forward. So the first main concern that we're going to go over is input buffer, which is extremely high. So there is a very awesome clip that I found on Twitter, so I'll let this kind of play in the background real quick. But it shows the input buffer that is currently in the game, which is apparently set to 30. So 30 is actually extremely, extremely high. This needs to be lowered to a much lower number. So for the viewers that might not know exactly what input buffer is, just think of it as the time between the end of one action, like a move or an ability, to the beginning of the next one. So the longer, or in this case, the higher the input buffer is, well, it's going to take a lot longer for the game to kind of read and to display that next attack or ability. So as long as we can just lower the input buffer, which in fact, it was a setting in the Multiversus open beta version. So the simple solution here would be just return that setting to the game so we can adjust our own input buffer, which would be fantastic. In fact, I found this person on Twitter claiming that a dev actually said it's supposed to be a setting in the game right now. I couldn't find the dev that said this, so if this person's claim is true and a dev did say this, well, it seems like the problem's already going to be fixed. Input buffer should have its own setting in the game, hopefully in the next patch, but this will be a thing that, you can adjust yourself and everybody will be a lot happier. Second concern we're going to go over is another big one, but it's Battle Pass XP earned after a match. We need that back. Now, the obvious issue is not being able to earn XP towards my Battle Pass or everyone's Battle Pass after we play a match. With no Battle Pass XP earned after matches, it almost disincentivizes players from, well, playing the game. I mean, think of it. If you jump into a match and you can't make any progress on what you're supposed to be progressing in throughout the season, and it's like, okay, well then what am I supposed to do? Log on for like 20 minutes, do my daily challenges, and just kind of wait till the next day? No, I'd love to play the game and feel like I'm progressing. So a simple solution, just bring back Battle Pass XP earned after matches are played. This was also in the open beta, and I'm sure that this is another easy fix the devs can implement. I don't know an exact number for XP earned for wins and losses after battles, but just some sort of system where we get XP something so we can continue to progress in the battle pass, because this battle pass is only 8 weeks long. So if we're progressing at this really slow rate right now, I mean, you gotta wonder how many people are actually going to be able to complete the battle pass if we don't get some sort of fix to this. but again, the fix is pretty simple. The next concern that I need to bring attention to is the event challenge, specifically the Agent Smith event, and then Rift power-up XP, or lack thereof, I should say. So I want to state something right at the beginning here, because I feel a lot of players are missing the intended way this event is supposed to play out, okay? This event, the Agent Smith one, is supposed to be like a season-long event. This was never meant to be conquered in 1 or 2 or 3 days. This is something that the players themselves are supposed to make gradual progress on over the course of the season as more rifts become available. So once that happens, then, you know, you play it at your own pace, which is great, and unlock it on your own time. So the Agent Smith event, again, goes to the end of the season, which is July 23rd. And I feel like quite a bit of people really don't understand that sort of concept, so I had to bring that up. But let's not forget that this event is still too grindy, like way too grindy. So the Agent Smith, the way to unlock them, if you don't know, is you have to play Rift mode, and then you have to defeat bosses in Rift mode. And each boss can be defeated on 5 separate difficulty levels. So if you defeat the same boss on all 5 difficulty levels, you earn, well, a total of 5 points. So you got 5 points to put towards the Agent Smith event. But that's where another concern comes in, because after you defeat the first 2 difficulty levels of a Rift, the third one requires you to have a specific level of gem power-up levels. So if you don't have that level up for your gem, for any gem power-ups, well, now you're just kind of stuck, and you're gonna have to go back and play older Rifts, but you're not making progress on anything. You're just trying to do it to essentially get XP for your Rift gems, and that could be a little tedious. So my solution for that would be just simply increase the amount of gem XP that we need to earn, or shrink the amount of XP needed to level up each gem. That way it comes at a faster pace, and the players don't feel like they're stuck in the mud if they don't have the certain requirements met. As for the Agent Smith thing, my attempted solution would be this. So as we mentioned, you earn 1 point every time you defeat a boss on a different difficulty level. So instead of 1 point, what if we earned 2 points per difficulty level? If we can get double our points than we currently are, our time's going to be cut in half for this event. So the more XP we get for the gems, well, the quicker we unlock the next difficulty level. And the quicker we unlock the next difficulty level, the quicker we get to the next boss to earn a couple more points. And once we get those points, boom, free character. So again, the solution, can we just double the amount of points that we get after defeating a boss? Next concern that we need to discuss, post-match stats not being there. So if you'd never participated in the tech test or closed alpha or the open beta, after a match ended, on the results screen, there were stats that were displayed for a number of ring outs that you had, the number of damage that you caused during a match. So just kind of seeing that sort of stuff has always been there in platform fighter type of games, just kind of seeing just like a recap of how you did. So if you think you played really well and then you get to the end screen and you see you played 2v2s and you got 3 out of the 4 ring outs, and then you dealt like 700 total damage, well, that's something that we as players really like to take pride in, and then we can brag to our friends about it and kind of like, yeah, I did that, and oh yeah, there's no way you did that, and then you could screenshot it, whatever it is. But we as players like seeing numbers. We like seeing our own stats, right? So this is a simple solution. It was in the game before, so I'm sure this could just be simply brought back. I'm no game developer, but I'd have to think that this shouldn't be too much of an issue to re-implement into the game, because we all like to see stats, whether we did great or we did horrible. If we did horrible, we probably just immediately hit no to the rematch and back out to the main menu and, well, search for another one. But end of the match screen results, they need to come back. The next concern that we're going to talk about is the camera is zoomed in a little too far, just a bit too far. So with the characters being bigger this time around than they were compared to the open beta, and with how close the camera is zoomed in now, there are several instances where info gets missed during matches. So for example, say a player has details of somehow on the actual character themselves, because you can display where that information is stored, whether it's on the character themselves. So what I'm getting to is, if a character has an ability or a move that has a cooldown, well, the cooldown timer could be attached to the character. So if the cooldown timer is above, say, a character's head, but the camera zoomed in a little too close, you can't see that cooldown timer. So you're not going to be able to kind of time when you can use the move next, or if you need to use whatever you need to. So just the camera zoomed in too much is, well, that is an issue, but the simple problem is just kind of pull the camera back just a little bit. I don't know, 10% might be good. This is something that the developers have the numbers to. I don't, but I don't know, 10% seems fine. But just pull the camera back a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Plus, anybody have the issue where you win a match at the end and you try to go to use one of your animated emotes? Well, you can't see it because the screen cuts it off. So you're like, wait, I just got that and I wanted to display it, but now I can't see it because the camera zoomed in too much. But again, this seems like it's a pretty easy fix for the devs, just to pull the camera back a little bit more. So that is all I wanted to bring up to you guys in this video. I know time is very valuable and I used up a lot of it in this video. I know there's still other concerns that people have, but maybe we can make a part 2 depending on, I don't know, how well this video does. But once again, I want to wish the devs nothing but success. Sincerely yours, Slackerz.